stake in all that. Jenna felt a twinge of guilt. What was the loss of a dog compared to a brother? Maybe she needed to gain a better perspective about all of this to stay professional. After all, Nico was just a dog. But she refused to accept that. To her, Nico was just as much of a brother. What we could do while we're waiting, Drake said, lowering his voice, is to figure out why we're all fighting. If we knew what was brewed up in a damn lab, then both Josh and Nico had a better chance of surviving. Thunder boomed overhead, rattling the hangar, reminding her that it wasn't just Josh and Nico who were at risk. The storm had finally reached Mono Basin, and the rain had begun to fall in the highlands beyond. According to Director Crow, emergency crews were using helicopters to dump piles of sandbags into all of the lower streams of dry creek beds to try to limit the contagion. Even if the initial sandbagging efforts were effective, how long would those makeshift dams hold? And what if the organism reached the subterranean aquifers that drained throughout the region, contaminating the very water table? Drake was right. She kept her thumb on the talk button. But how can we help find out anything more about that damn microbe? Especially locked up inside here. With the saboteur dead, that was our last direct lead. What about indirect? Drake offered. Jenna took a deep breath, trying to push back her anxiety and frustration. With the base blown up, with Hess kidnapped and still missing, the trail seemed cold. As far as anyone knew, Hess's inner circle of researchers was present at the lab at the time of its destruction. Amy Serpry had been their only hope. In time, maybe another clue could be found. But they didn't have that time. Is there something we missed? Drake asked, finally racking his own brain. She reviewed everything in her head, from the initial SOS received by Bill Howard to watching Amy Serpry's body being airlifted away, sealed in a body bag. Her corpse had become the focus of attention over at the suite of BSL-4 labs across the hangar. Jenna closed her eyes, walking herself through the horrors of the past 48 hours. It was hard to believe only 2 days had passed since that call from Bill Howard. That call! She opened her eyes, letting the shock show. Jenna? Drake asked. I have to reach Painter Crow. Now! 8:12 p.m. For the moment, Painter had Colonel Bozeman's office to himself. It was a rare moment of privacy that had become the command center for emergency operations in the area. The past 2 days, a hurricane of political, military, and law enforcement agencies had crashed down on this area, mostly falling upon Painter's own head. If an agency had an acronym, they were here, needing to be pacified, directed, or consulted. As was usual with such matters, it had quickly threatened to become an ineffectual clusterfuck. Luckily, due to past efforts by Sigma, the President had personally intervened and granted Painter emergency authority, capping him as the top dog.